the end of the day. So when you add a catalyst, you're going to end up with the same products, right? We still ended up with water and oxygen gas. The oxygen, basically the water was mixing with the dish soap, and the oxygen was pushing it out. That's how this happened. That's what we saw. Okay. Catalysts also make things more efficient. We all know what the word efficient means.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll hear the word used for cars. When you have a car that's more efficient, more gas efficient, you know what that means? It means it what? In the front? You said you know what it means? I don't want to put you on the spot. You said do you know what does it mean for a car to be gas efficient or fuel efficient? Better gas mileage. It uses up what it's got better than a different car. So catalysts increase the efficiency of a reaction. That's another indicator. That's another thing that we'll see. Okay. Now looking back on your handouts, let's go to the break it down section. Chemistry, as you may know, is a study of the world around us at an atomic level. So knowing what things are made of, it helps us understand what's going on. For example, if you know that acids, in chemistry you'll learn that acids neutralize bases. Okay, that's a phrase that you'll hopefully come back to. So if you know that concept in chemistry and how things work, then you know that when you have an upset stomach, when your stomach hurts, or when your mom or dad has heartburn, that's extra acid in their stomach, and the way to fix it is to neutralize it with a base. Pretzels have a base in them. So knowing the chemistry, knowing how things work on a very small level, actually helps us in a very real way. When we keep talking about the ACT, I hear you guys are big fans of the ACT?
No, they are.
So, it's okay. We'll work on it. So, talking about the ACT, it's no different, okay? When you can understand what's going on, like if somebody gives you an ACT type of question, or if you've taken an ACT or a practical ACT, and you get a question, if you can break it down into parts, then that helps you know what's going on, okay? So, if you know the different parts of the question, then it actually helps you to answer the question. Okay? Just like chemistry can help you figure things out in your life when your stomach hurts you. So knowing what the question is asking and how it's being asked can help you do better on the ACT, can help you answer the question. So let's look at a certain type of ACT question today. I like to call it what if I told you questions, because basically it's all going to have what I like to think of as this section where they tell you something, and then they say, okay guys, now what if I told you this? So, imagine reading a passage describing a scientist's hypothesis. You know what a hypothesis is?
Yes.
Good. So, imagine reading a passage describing a scientist's hypothesis that regular exposure to classical music helps plants to grow. So, there are actually studies, there are actually scientists that take their plants, they plant some seeds, they play some music, and they see if their plants grow faster. If the plants like jazz, if they like classical, if they like rock or country or hip hop or R&B or ska or reggae, whatever. So now we established, I gave you the information that a scientist has a hypothesis. That scientist thinks that playing classical music for his plants makes them grow faster. Now, what if I told you that a recent trial showed classical music plants growing to be 24 inches, and plants that didn't listen to classical music grew to be 25 inches? So the question is going to be, does that help or hurt our scientist's hypothesis, and why or why not? So the first thing we have to break down, let's just do it step by step all together. First thing we have to break down is which one is taller. Which plants are getting bigger and stronger? The ones who listen to music or the ones that don't?
The ones that
The ones that
don't.
don't. So does that help the scientist's hypothesis?
No.
No, right? Because it goes against what the scientist is saying. The scientist says classical music helps, and the trial, this new information that we had, says it doesn't help. Right? Do we all understand that?
Yeah.
Any questions on that so far? Oh, you guys are good. Yes? Yes, that's a good biology question. They can. radioactive waves can go through vents. Waves are really tricky. Hopefully we can talk about that sometime. Okay, so some tips and tricks. Look for words to tell you that it's this type of question, what I like to call a what if I told you question. The tips and tricks, the shortcuts, your catalyst to figuring it out, is looking for words like would, support, contradict, hypothesis, statement, conclusion. So, some examples. An ACT question might ask you, which of the following, if true, would provide the most support for the hypothesis? If I gave you this new information, the multiple choice answers might be your new information, your possible new information. So which one is going to help your hypothesis? Which one is going to prove that scientist right? Which of the following discoveries would not support the hypothesis? Which one's going to hurt the scientist's hypothesis? Does the information given support, like that's what we just had, does this new trial support the hypothesis? And then you might also have where you look on a graph or a table or something, and it says, okay, here are some numbers. Do these numbers help you? We kind of did that also when we compared 24 and 25 to see which one ended up being taller. So now I'm putting you guys on the spot. So this is your exit ticket for today. You guys get exit tickets sometimes? Yeah, you know what it is? Okay, so basically you have to answer this question to get out of class. Unless there's a fire, then you can leave anytime.
No problem.
So, exit ticket on the back, you have a question, so you can go ahead and get started on that. Sorry. Just wait.
I wish. Yes.
Okay, so let's take a minute. Let's take a minute and work quietly. Thank you very much. You guys are good listeners. Yeah, sorry, it's all the same number. I guess I'll have to put this up. Okay, so you guys should hopefully have your exit ticket taken care of by now. Hopefully you learned something about chemistry. Hopefully you learned something about the ACT and that type of question. What do I call that type of question? What if I do? Very good. And in chemistry, what was the vocab word we talked about? Catalyst. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. Again, I'm Mr. Brennan.